Spanish police break up a criminal network linked to the smuggling of 300 undocumented foreign workers into the country.
A UK inquiry concluded that Russian President Vladimir Putin is morally responsible for a nerve agent attack in 2018 that killed an innocent woman. At least 4 countries have announced they are pulling out of next year's Eurovision Song Contest after organizers decided to allow Israel to compete.
Spanish police said on Thursday they had broken up a criminal network linked to smuggling 300 workers into the country, mostly from Nepal. Police said they arrested 11 people and are investigating 2 others. Some 294 of the foreign workers lacked proper documentation to live and work in Spain. Officials said the workers were placed illegally on farms in central and eastern Spain and didn't receive pay for months of work, besides being provided very basic meals. A video released by Spanish authorities showed scores of people sitting side by side on mattresses lined up in a low-lit room. According to a police statement, most of those smuggled had entered on tourist visas, including for other countries within the European Union Schengen area. According to the World Bank, over 20% of Nepal's 30 million people live in poverty.
24 humanitarian workers who participated in search and rescue operations on the Greek island of Lesbos from 2016 to 2021 have begun their long-awaited trial. During the peak of Europe's refugee crisis that started in 2015, Lesbos became a key entry point for asylum seekers who often made dangerous journeys on small boats to reach Europe. The accused face up to 20 years in prison for charges including alleged participation in a criminal organization, facilitating the entry of third country nationals into Greece, and money laundering. Greek authorities say the trial focuses on a border security issue, but human rights groups have condemned the accusations as a politicized crackdown on humanitarian workers. It comes after years of allegations that Greek authorities breached international and European laws in their response to the arrivals of refugees. In January, the European Court of Human Rights found that the Greek Coast Guard had conducted so-called pushbacks against potential asylum seekers, marking the first time a court officially acknowledged a practice Greece has long denied. Today, there are no NGOs conducting search and rescue operations or providing emergency response during landings on Lesbos, despite over 3,500 people arriving to the island so far this year, according to the UN's refugee agency.
European Commission Vice President Roxana Minzatou told Euronews' morning show Europe Today that European competitiveness doesn't have to come at the expense of workers' rights. As part of the EU's Social Europe agenda, Minzatou will unveil plans to upskill workers for current labour needs and the green and digital transitions. Minzatou addressed concerns that social rights have been traded off in the name of competitiveness.
Competitiveness is absolutely essential for us to be able to deliver quality jobs, but we cannot, as Europe, I think, achieve competitiveness if we forgo or if we lower the standards on employment. So we need to do this together, balancing the two.
One topic that will be addressed by the legislation is the impact of AI systems on the workplace. Recent reporting by Euronews showed that 1 in 4 European workplaces uses algorithms and AI to make decisions that impact employees' working lives.
Some jobs for sure will be transformed or will disappear, and some will be functioning with AI assistance. Our concern is that where we will have AI as a boss, not only as an assistant, we need to create trustworthy environments and trust for SMEs, therefore corporations and for workers to use and work with these systems.
Workers of all ages, regions and sectors will need to strengthen their AI skills, but Minzatou stressed that the Commission's plan will avoid creating any burden or overlaps for European businesses.
During a meeting in Kyiv with Cypriot President Nikos Christodoulidis, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky thanked Cyprus for backing the UN General Assembly resolution on Ukrainian children abducted by Russia. The resolution demands the return of all Ukrainian children who Russia has illegally displaced or deported since 2014. During his trip to Kyiv, the president of Cyprus visited the Child Rights Protection Center, which focuses on the rehabilitation of repatriated children. Here, Christodoulidis met with some of the children, staff, and Ukrainian officials.
I understand you have kids of 1 year old, 6 months old.
And we don't know how to return them back. For example, Margarita Prokopenko, she was only 10 months old when she was officially deported by Sergei Mironov. Sergei Mironov, he is the member of Russian parliament, and he officially adopted and deported her from Kherson. And when we found so-called her new documents on Russian certificate of birth, she is Marina Mironova. She was born in Moscow region, but in Ukraine at the same time we have Ukrainian family.
Christodoulidis condemned the traumatic abductions of children, noting that Cyprus had faced similar experiences in its own history. He stressed that the Republic of Cyprus supports the efforts of the center and will continue to support them during Cyprus's presidency of the Council of the European Union. He also invited a group of children and their guardians to spend a few weeks in Cyprus.
Russian President Vladimir Putin is morally responsible for a nerve agent attack on British soil in 2018 that led to the death of an innocent woman, an inquiry found. Russian agents sent to assassinate a former spy had smuggled the deadly Novichok into the country. Their targets, Sergei Skripal and his daughter Yulia, were poisoned by the Novichok at his home in Salisbury in March 2018, but survived. 4 months later, British citizen Dawn Sturgis died after spraying herself with a fake perfume bottle found by her boyfriend in Amesbury, around 11 kilometers north of Salisbury. Inquiry Chair Anthony Hughes said on Thursday the assassination attempt on Skripal must have been authorized at the highest level by Putin. Hughes said the assassins recklessly discarded the bottle of Novichok in a public place and therefore bore moral responsibility for Sturgis's death. The British government sanctioned Russia's GRU intelligence agency and summoned Moscow's ambassador on Thursday after the inquiry's findings were made public. At least 4 countries have announced they are pulling out of next year's Eurovision Song Contest after organizers decided to allow Israel to compete. The participating broadcasters from the Netherlands, Spain, Ireland, and Slovenia each withdrew from the song contest after the European Broadcasting Union held its twice-yearly General Assembly. The countries called for Israel to be excluded over alleged interference in voting and its conduct in the war on Gaza.
Well, what I'm pleased is the membership have had a full opportunity to debate it, and I can tell you it was a full, frank, honest and quite moving debate. But as we can see from the emphatic result, what they really came together on is a belief that Eurovision Song Contest shouldn't be used as a political theatre. It must retain some sense of neutrality.
The EBU voted to adopt tougher voting rules in response to the allegations that Israel manipulated the vote in favor of their contestant. The contest of musical acts from dozens of countries strives to remain apolitical but has repeatedly been embroiled in world events. Russia was expelled in 2022 after its full-scale invasion of Ukraine. Over the past 2 years, pro-Palestinian protesters demonstrated against Israel outside the Eurovision contest venues in Switzerland and in Sweden.
Each year, millions of people are estimated to suffer from seasonal depression, also known as seasonal affective disorder. Countries in Northern Europe and above the Arctic Circle are no stranger to long dark days. Experts in Norway, Sweden, and Finland say the limited sunlight has a major impact on mood and can lead to low energy, increased appetite, and feelings of sadness.
Because light has an immediate effect on your well-being. to increase serotonin in your brain, which is a very important chemical to promote also, that you feel good, that you're in a good mood. So all these things you can use. So it's not like it's a fade and an annual or a seasonal fade, and you cannot do anything about it.
A light therapy device or dawn simulator are common tools used to mimic light and boost serotonin in the brain. Experts also warn for social isolation and urge people not to withdraw socially during winter time. They also recommend regular exercise to fight the winter blues.
Imagine you hold a laser pointer, which is invisible to any adversary, but you see it because you have you know where you need to point, and you're measuring how you're pointing. So you're pointing it very precisely to the other party you want to communicate with, and that information cannot be monitored, cannot be intercepted, and cannot be jammed, because also the receiver itself is designed in a way that it also has a very narrow acceptance angle.